All right, viewers, I'm Ginger Hill with Security Today, and today we have V.I.O, developer of Point of View technology. We have Steve Hansen, sales manager with V.I.O, Ryan Anthony, technical product expert with V.I.O, and Tanya Martin, integrated solutions manager with V.I.O. Today we're going to talk about their new product. It's called the Stream. It's a POV camera. It's mountable and wearable. And we're going to talk about how it's practical with security applications. And then at the end, we hope you stay tuned because we have a very special presentation about wearable surveillance trends from V.I.O. But first, let's go ahead and jump in. Let's get to know V.I.O just a little bit better. And I'm just going to ask if you can tell us a little bit about your company.
Sure. So I'm Ryan Anthony. The V.I.O actually started out as a company called V.I.O Sport. When the company first was founded, it started out as an action sports. There's a little feedback on the line here. We started out as an action sports broadcasting company, similar to YouTube before YouTube really became popular. And over time, when we were in that business, we found that customers were asking questions about how we were getting the shots that we were broadcasting. They were more interested in that than the actual footage itself. So we naturally migrated into making camera systems. Our first camera system, the POV1, was our first self-contained, rugged, standard definition video camera, complete with a series of mounts. Over time, we evolved that platform. We introduced HD, a number of other features, and today the camera system that we have, the POV Stream, takes all of those features that we built up over the years, and we bundled it into the smallest form factor with the most robust feature set that we've had to date. And we're very excited to introduce this product onto the market with the API, the streaming, with simultaneous record, all in the very small, compact, rugged form factor. It's a product we feel that is going to do very well in the developer and integrator market.
For sure. Okay, great. What made y'all decide to, or what made V.I.O decide to even enter the video camera market for security?
So, kind of given some of our key features, the IP67 form factor is something that's one feature that we've carried through all of our products. It can sustain a drop onto concrete from 9 feet. You can submerge it into water. It's dust proof. And the real reason that we did that, obviously we've had our background in action sports, but a lot of mil-tac, private security. These cameras are going into very demanding environments, and like a lot of the other wearable cameras, they have enclosures, they have cases that you can put over them to protect them. But our philosophy has always been the base unit needs to be as rugged as possible. So, that rugged feature set combined with the high quality video and the flexible platform make it ideal for the integration and security market. The magnesium housing on the unit is also very durable, scratch resistant and whatnot. So naturally, we moved into a market that needed those features, and that's where we've been for the last few years, and that's where we're going to continue to go in years to come.
That's awesome. I know you talked a little bit about the ruggedized aspect of the camera, and we have one here that we've been playing with, and it's so amazing. It's so tiny, but it has that feel of being so strong, and so I think that's really cool about y'all's camera.
Yeah.
I guess, how do you think you're doing, or how are you doing it better than your competition, like as far as your product and that kind of thing?
So our competition, it's an interesting question because we, obviously we started out in action sports, and everybody's familiar with GoPro, obviously, and Contour. And for a couple of years, they were in the same space that we were. And, we realized that there was a void in, the commercial, industrial, the mil-tac markets. So, when we decided to move into that space, we looked at all of the camera companies that were active, and there really weren't many. So,
Good.
And definitely there weren't many with the same feature set at the price point that we were launching at. So, even to this day, there's a number of companies that are there, but feature for feature, they don't quite line up with our product. So. This is an emerging category. I mean, it's become very popular in recent years, especially on the consumer side. But using these cameras as a tool, it's fairly new, and specific in the security market, security and surveillance. It's at the very beginning stages, very beginning stages of seeing these products enter into those systems.
And along with some of those features that Ryan mentioned, V.I.O is one of the few that offers that type of form factor, the ruggedness, along with an open API, making it very easy for integration.
Yeah, and I'll just add as well too that one of the key attributes of this is that the camera itself can play inside of a lot of video management tools that exist. So if there's a video management solution that exists in an environment, whether it's a school or a municipal building of some kind, this wearable solution can be integrated right inside of that management solution and become a part of that system seamlessly. To give that, maybe it's on a person, a security guard, and there's just a different angle that first person view is going to give that a mounted camera isn't going to give you. And the fact that this is ruggedized and can immediately go into those tough environments and play nice with those video management tools that are out there, it's a really big advantage that we have, and really something that sets us apart.
Awesome. That's very good. Speaking about the software, do you have proprietary software at all for like an industry such as law enforcement or education, or did y'all not write any software?
Well,
go ahead, Ryan.
So the way that we designed the camera with the API, our thinking was, this comes from many years of working with government agencies. Everyone has their own proprietary systems, and they have different needs. So our thinking was with this product is we're going to make it as flexible as possible so these integrators can build it into their own system, rather than having to field a bunch of engineering requests and kind of make that a barrier to bringing the product in. That really is, kind of speaking again to the key features, that API and, the design and the flexibility of this camera system is really a unique thing about the V.I.O stream.
Awesome. Well, we've talked on some of the characteristics. Is there anything else that we need to highlight about the camera?
I think in the aspect of the forum that we're in and having the wearable surveillance, just the key message is security cameras have historically always been mounted, and now we're able to take security, and make it a mobile video where we can that first person view and share that with those that are applicable.
So another feature that's worth mentioning is the wireless streaming.
Right.
The camera streams wirelessly over RTSP, which is fairly unique. And while streaming, it can also record onto the SD card on the unit.
Very nice.
So what that means is you can have, let's just say in a SWAT situation, you have it on an officer going into a building. He can stream that video back to a central command center and also record it onto the unit. So after the incident has ended, they can go back and review in a different resolution, for after action reporting.
Very nice. Okay. Well, taking all these characteristics into consideration in the stream, how do you think it's going to enhance our security industry as a whole?
Well, security, I mean, like Steve had mentioned earlier, most security systems are fixed. You have cameras that are in very specific spots in buildings. A lot of them have pan, tilt, zoom, low light capabilities.
Right.
But one thing that most security systems don't have is a video component that's mobile.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're in let's just say you're in a hospital, moving around a hospital, and say you have a hostel within the hospital,
Right.
The only way you're going to see that person is if they walk by a camera. Well, if you have a camera mounted on someone who is moving, that's one angle that you just can't get from your typical like standard security system. So it's a mobile surveillance camera solution. Exactly.
I can definitely see how it can be used in the education field as well, with security and education and that kind of thing. So, let's see. So, have you received any good feedback from the security industry about the stream, or has it been in any pilot programs with law enforcement or anything like that?
I can speak a little bit. We and then sorry, Ryan.
Go ahead.
We did attend ASIS recently and had an opportunity to just talk about the camera, with folks, and we were met with very good at least reviews and reception about the camera itself, and had some good, nice, strong feelings about this being a solution that could play inside again of those management tools, video management tools that I talked about earlier. I think that was one of the things for me that as I've learned more and more about this, as we've learned about the camera and are learning about new markets and who the players are, that was something for me that really opened my eyes to say this is really, really a big deal. And there's these huge players that offer these great systems. And it was great to hear that reception say, hey, yes, this is going to work for us. And it's open source. And, we really, that's something that we really think is important. Good, and so we definitely have heard some really good, nice, strong things about this feedback-wise about the camera. So
very good. That's awesome. Ryan, were you going to add to that, or?
Yeah, we have a couple integrations right now that are in the works with some fairly large surveillance security solutions that we can't technically talk about them. But
good save.
But it really it's stuff that a lot of these opportunities, a lot of these integrations take time, and they're complicated, and we are the experts when it comes to the camera, but we are not the experts when it comes to these full-scale security solution suites. And we're happy to provide whatever support we can in the way of technical expertise in the camera and the way it works and how it could potentially integrate and stream. But it's a fairly complex situation. We rely on the experts, many of which are probably attending this call. So.
And I'll just add one more thing too, just as far as system attributes or our ability to integrate into a system or a solution. Because this is a U.S. made product, right here in Minnesota, we have the ability to change or essentially develop the product at the board level for someone. So rather than the form factor that we offer the product in that you can see and touch, we also have the ability to change that for someone if they have a need. Or a system that they want to design around, we can actually offer them this product at the board level, and then they can design their own enclosure around it. So if there's another solution that they have that our form factor currently just doesn't give them because it maybe isn't quite right, or maybe it's going to go inside of a vest or something like that, we could do that for someone. And so that's been another big value and asset that we have to a security provider.
That's very awesome. Very awesome. So I guess kind of to wrap up just a little bit, what do you think the future holds for V.I.O and Stream?
We're going to continue to integrate this thing into, robots, drones, armored vehicles, you name it. And this year is really exciting. We've got some really some great partnerships that we've built up over the years, and with our previous camera systems, we didn't have a lot of flexibility to do creative things from a software standpoint. But with the open API, the streaming, the form factor, and a lot of kind of the new technologies coming out of the market, the advancements with 4G LTE, and a lot of the wireless stuff that's happening, it's a really exciting time to have this camera system. And you're going to see some really some great press come from V.I.O here towards the end of Q1, early Q2.
Nice.
Yeah, we were talking yesterday, the three of us too, and kind of asked that same question. And you know, I think Tanya mentioned this yesterday, in that because we aren't just a one shape fits all, kind of like I mentioned earlier as well. I think that's really where our future is going to be as we move forward and grow forward, is the ability for us to move and change, you know, with and for our customers, whoever they may be, is going to really allow us to do some neat things that we wouldn't otherwise be able to do if we weren't able to offer that as a solution for people.
And what we've seen in the action sports industry really is just in its infancy at the enterprise level. So we look forward to being a part of that as well.
That's awesome. Yeah, I was going to say there's some really cool user-generated videos that y'all have on your website at VIO-POV.com, and they were really fascinating, of race cars and ski jumping and snowboarding. So that's the fun side of it, I think.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, okay, cool. Well, viewers, I'm going to open the floor now for any questions that you may have. We just had one come in. Is there a particular vertical that would deploy this solution, like schools, hospitals, government, or retail?
Yes.
I think that means all of the above.
Yes, all of that.
So I would say all of those verticals, there's opportunities within all of those verticals, and it's a tough question to answer, because we just launched this product. You know, it's a very flexible product, and you know, again, I think we're going to even be surprised with what use cases we see, you know, that involve this product. So, you know, again, your security your developers, your security integrators, your you know, auto manufacturers, boat manufacturers, telcos,
medical.
Sky's the limit, really. And you know, it's not our strategy to target any one particular vertical, because we have opportunities to build this out in pretty much any vertical that exists. We're looking for people that are going to get creative with the technology and use it.
Awesome. Sounds good. All right, guys. Any more questions from our viewers? I don't see any more popping in just yet. We'll give them a couple seconds. All right. Well, guys, thank y'all so much for telling me, you know, all the details about the camera and our viewers and everything. I want to turn the floor over now to y'all. I'm anxious to hear about these wearable surveillance trends. So whenever y'all are ready, y'all can take over.
Yeah, I think we'll just kind of bounce around a little bit, I think, and kind of feed off of one another. Kind of like I was mentioning earlier, one of the things that we've really seen, and I'm sure that if you're alive, you're definitely know that video is everywhere, and it's becoming a part of our lives more and more every day. And we know that you know, video solutions are definitely increasingly prevalent among security professionals and pretty much everyone today. There's just a ton of agencies that are deploying additional cameras into the field, you know, on a seemingly a daily basis. And so with that being said, we just want to be able to make folks aware of our solution as one that can definitely seamlessly integrate into those solutions that are out there. You know, police and local law enforcement are deploying these systems all the time, like I mentioned. The open source platform that we have is really going to open or has opened up a lot of doors for these types of trends to really become, I guess, more mainstream. You know, the fact that, you know, IP sharing and all that stuff that has become such a part of our lives, and these video trends that are again a part of our daily lives now are really making this really important for people. So in terms of what the benefits are, Ryan, you can chime in too if you want to wrap a little bit as well. But the portability of the camera and the visibility of these cameras is also huge. We know that, for instance, if a police officer is wearing a camera, we know that there's a level of accountability that goes with that. So there's increased trust, there's increased awareness, and safety for both the officer and the public when a system like this is worn. So again, the benefits are pretty much endless to cameras like this.
Good deal.
You look on the consumer side. This is probably what most people are familiar with. It started with text, and then it was pictures, and then it's video. You know, the next logical progression is live streaming video. And companies like Ustream and Livestream are starting to do some really great stuff with live streaming broadcasts.
Mm-hmm.
We look at that live streaming technology as a tool for enterprise. So obviously Skype is commonly used. There's Microsoft Link, which is kind of the enterprise version of Skype. Cisco's telepresence system. The live streaming video as a tool is really, I think, is going to be the biggest. It's what's going to bring about the biggest change in the way that we do business.
Right.
You're able to connect people in real time that can better inform decision making in all corners of the globe if the network infrastructure exists.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said earlier, we've seen Verizon and AT&T with their 4G LTE brought about some incredible technology with the advancements in satellite communication and broadband and fiber. This really is, I think the market is really it's ripe right now for streaming video solutions, and we're going to see it become a part of our everyday life here very soon.
Awesome. All right, great. I actually had some other questions pop up while you guys were talking. One of them was, do you offer day or night and thermal?
That's a good question. So we've fielded that request quite a few times. Thermal. We'll start with thermal. Thermal is a technically challenging. It's a technically challenging piece to incorporate into this kind of form factor. I mean, our camera is very small, it's compact, and yes, it will work with some of the thermal products out there, but it's not something that we've really focused on. It's kind of like what I mentioned earlier with we rely on the integrators and the developers to figure out how to incorporate our product into their suite. Same thing with something like thermal. We don't do it today. Not to say that we won't do it in the future, but there definitely is a need for it.
Awesome. Okay.
The night vision, the extremely low light. We do have a 2-megapixel sensor in this camera, which really is it's optimized for video. It's a large pixel size, so it does it can take in a considerable amount of light. It does well in low light, but it is not night vision. But the camera will work with some of the night vision monoculars or night vision goggles. It'll pull the video through. It's something that we've done in the past, but again, that's a feature that we could potentially look at in the future.
Awesome. Okay, great. Couple more. It said one of them was talking about bandwidth and streaming. How do you handle that?
Well. And we all know when you go into a congested area in let's just say like an urban setting, we're all fighting for the same bandwidth, and that becomes tricky when you're trying to download video, and especially when you're trying to stream video. The carriers, we do have close relationships with the carriers, which is great. So we're really in the know on on the latest and greatest of what's happening there. But there's some bands that have opened up that we think are going to bring a better experience for the streaming video. But right now we're we just have to work within the current constraints and do what we can in the way of optimizing our resolution, bit rate, and frame rate to deliver the highest quality video we can.
Good deal. Okay. All right. Well, bouncing back to the no night vision, is there a camera attachment that you can add to it, or?
There isn't currently.
Okay.
There isn't currently, but the bezel is a fairly standard size, and it wouldn't be hard to fabricate one. With all of the 3D printing and some of the advancements in that particular arena, I don't think it's something that's technically impossible. It can be done.
Gotcha. Okay, looks like we have one more here. It involves hacking. So what kind of Wi-Fi standard is integrated to make sure that the camera isn't hacked?
So we have standard encryption. We've got WPA, WPA2, I believe WEP as well. We do a lot of work with the military and private security contractors, and that's always the first question that they ask, because you're in a battlefield environment. You don't want somebody hacking into your camera, because that really could cause some problems. But what we find is, we provide the stream, and they typically encrypt the video themselves. They take the audio and the audio that comes from their headsets or their HUDs or whatever it is, combine the video, and then they encrypt it through their own pipe. So we do have standard encryption technology on the camera, but if you're in a really sensitive environment, again, we kind of leave that up to the integrators and the experts to find a way to really lock that up.
Okay, awesome. Well, guys, is there anything that I've left out? I don't see any more questions coming in. So is there any details that I've left out or any questions I should have been asking you guys?
I would say for anybody who's watching this video today, take a look at the product. Go onto the website, and if you have any questions, drop us an email. Happy to answer any questions you may have. Again, this is the audience. These are the people that we designed this camera for, and we're here and happy to help you out with anything you need.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, thank you all so much. Viewers, thank you for tuning in and listening to our Google Hangout. I think we've learned a lot about point of view technology as it applies to video. And Tanya, Stephen, Ryan, we really appreciate your knowledge and your willingness to participate.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll be in touch. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.